Good day, guys. So today I want to cover some part of enhanced UI. This is a plugin, and I want to cover just this feature right here, the separating the 3D viewport and widgets. Okay. I'm not going to cover all the other features because that would take the entire day. I just want to show you this feature right here. Then in other videos, I'll cover the other features. So first, let's start with why I built it. Okay, so the reason why I added this feature is because I don't like the idea of overlaying widgets on top of the 3D viewport. All right, so if you look at other editor types of apps, let's take Blender for example. You can see that there's widgets on the right. This is a section for other types of widgets, and then this is the 3D viewport, and this is a section for other types of widgets, and this is a section for the types of widgets. The same goes for After Effects. Same goes for the other types of apps that are like trying to edit something that's in the 3D viewport. Okay, so that's why I built this feature, not this plugin. This feature. This plugin has many features. This the same thing that I'm really interested. You can see it has separated the 3D viewport from its widgets, but then there's still widgets on top of the 3D viewport. So if you want to build something that separates this, I pretty much recommend this plugin that I built for the specific use case. Okay. I don't think Epic Games will ever offer or provide an easy way to do this thing where you split the 3D viewport from widgets, because then they open up a world where anybody can just download their engine and create an interface and then call it their own engine, because their EULA allows it, right? One way they try to protect themselves from this is they put some of the code as editor only modules, and they only license to people runtime modules, which is okay. They were trying to. I understand. I would do the same thing if I were them, right? So it's not that they're against it or trying to stop you, but they're making it harder because they could have built something that allow you to do something like this, where you separate your 3D viewport from your UI so that you can have some sort of editor. They just didn't want to because of the reason I just stated. So what I did when I built this, I needed something like this myself. So when I built enhanced UI, I just took the default runtime modules, and then I built a library around those runtime modules that allow you to do this. So there's no editor modules here. Blah 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 blah. I'm talking too much about non-important stuff. Let's get to the stuff. Yeah. So let's talk about separating 3D viewport and widget. So if you go to enhance UI and then you open the this folder, I'll show you main user interface widget, and then you load the map. You get this map right here. If you run this map, you get this. It's a 3D viewport, the usual one you're used to. Right? You can go into here and then control the 3D character and everything, or you can then go out and move the thing. But it's a slave to this bigger widget, right? So you can resize it and do everything, right? So that's what the plugin gives you the ability to do, right? So how does this work? If you go back to blueprints, you find that we are using this widget, right? So open your level blueprint, and the first thing we create here, right, on begin play, is we create this WBP main UI example, which is pretty much this one, right? So this viewport window, right, it sits within another canvas, right? So it's controlled by this canvas. So wherever this canvas ends, it's where it ends. So if I were to wrap this canvas with a text box, with a vertical box, okay, and then just place text or anything really, it doesn't have to be text, sorry. and then let's put it under the text. Okay, let's make it fill the entire area. You find that if I run this, here's the text block, and then this widget won't go over that text block. Okay, I'm trying to move it past it because it's within a vertical box, but still constrained within its canvas. All right, so it's not going there. So you can use this part as, let's say, your menu, like this file menu, right? And then you keep the 3D viewport and all the other widgets down here. All right, so one thing I want to show you that this is all, you can do all of this within UMG or within the editor. I've separated this in the they call it the top bar for desktop apps. They call it the header and website apps. So yeah, what have you. If you don't want like your viewport to move freely, what you can do is you can use the splitter panel. I want to show you an example using this. This is another type of main UI interface. So this is more similar to Blender, where the UI is like resizable and the other side of the UI takes more space. Yeah, that's that type. So WBP main UI demo. So let's go into the level blueprint and change this to WBP splitter main UI demo. If we launch this, you see that the 3D viewport is now here, right? And we can resize this. That's US space 1. We can resize this. That's US space 2. And we can resize this, right? So that's us using the splitter panel. It comes with the enhanced UI plugin, and you can see how it works compared to the first example where you could just take this 3D viewport and move it wherever you want. This one is constrained between resizable panels. Like this could be like your playlist right here, because if you go to like After Effects, your playlist is usually on the bottom, and then you have the 3D viewport here or the viewport, and yeah, you could have some other controls on your left. That's basically what this is, right? So even if I open the widget, you can see this is just a UMG widget. You create a UMG widget that inherits from AX main user interface, right? And then you add a vertical splitter. The vertical splitter will split this first section and the second section, right? That's why we can do this. We can do this. It's because of the vertical box. The vertical box here has the first splitter. This is the first section and the second section. And then, the vertical splitter, sorry. And then in the vertical splitter, we have the horizontal splitter as the first element. This is this entire part. And then we have a border here. And then it has its own widgets as the second element. That's pretty much it. The horizontal box here has 3 items, parent items, which is this first border, the viewport window, and the third one, right? So yeah, this is part of the enhanced UI plugin. I want to show you that it's not about some other features. It's mostly about a whole lot of features, including to separate the 3D viewport. I'm going to explain all these other systems here. Like if you wanted to build like a video editor, you can, right? I'll give an example. Unreal Engine or Epic Games has hidden the sequence editor under the editor modules so that people, okay, I don't know what's their reasoning or their motivation, but basically you can't edit like movies or that linear editing of movies or animations using the sequence API like the graphics part. It's under editor modules, which means you can't ship with it. You can't ship a game with it. You can only use it in the editor. So what this plugin does with this other feature here, this UMG language systems, it allows you to do that combined with all these others. But we are not using any editor modules or code. We are just using the runtime modules, and then we wrote our own code on top, and then we can sequence. If you want an example, let me run one. Okay, I'm going to run this one where I'm sequencing MIDI. All right, but to sequence, you can sequence anything. You can see that here I can sequence MIDI, move it up. Imagine this is like your a movie file or a picture or video editing. Imagine this is one file, but I'm sequencing MIDI here, like a piano editor. All right, the piano editor, and then one thing, this thing needs to be it needs to be infinite. It shouldn't have an end, and it should be performing regardless of the length of whatever you're editing. Okay, I'll explain this in the next session, but I just want to show you that here's the sequencing thing, and then the viewport will come on top, and then we have the channel back. All right, so let me just stop here so that this video is not too long, but I just want to show you that there's a whole lot of features in here. If you need help, just reach out if you have the license for the plugin, and I'll help you. If you don't want it and you want to hire someone, that's still fine. But if I sold a plugin to you, I'll provide support for that plugin if you're trying to do something specific, so that hopefully you'll tell people about the plugin. But if you had people, usually after they go, they just leave you with a library or code library that you can really use, like code that. That's not what we do here. So yeah,